ESOPs give people the opportunity to retire like they did climb the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not only pretty cool, but just I'm so passionate about ESOPs for that alone. There are partial ESOPs here in Fargo that I know of people that have been there for over 20 years, right? They're partial. So partial meaning only a part of the company is employee owned. The rest of it is regular private sector. So not all of the profits are going to them, but I know of people that are in partial ESOPs that have over $500,000 in their account.
Right.
Right. I gave a gentleman a ride to work. He was getting tires from us, obviously. And I gave him a ride to work, and I asked him where he worked, and he goes, "Oh, I work here." I'm not going to say. He goes, "We're an ESOP." I go, "No way." And then I started asking him some ESOP questions because I geeked out about it as per usual. And I just asked, what do you do there? And he told me, and it said why he had been there for like over 20 years. And I just asked, why are you still there? Why didn't you go to something else? Because it seemed like the way that he was talking about what he did was just kind of like, yeah, I do this, right?
It's a job.
Right, it's a job. So why are you still there? And he goes, the benefits are amazing. And I made more money in my ESOP last year than I did my salary wage. And
holy smokes.
I thought, nice. My second thought was almost, are you hiring? But I'm loyal. I'm staying because I got in almost at the ground running, and I want to help see where OK Tire can take employee ownership. So,
well, and for the majority of like the life cycle, right, it's going to be nice and steady where you want it, right? Because you don't want like the people retiring to feel like I'm leaving at a very volatile time at all times. You want it to be steady growth, but like you're going to have those jump up.
Yeah,
you're going to have those dips. But
you're going to have those years where we're stagnant. It's just that's business. I mean, that's the world. You can't get away from that.
There are things outside of your control, but we really focus on the things we can control.
Right.
Which is I'd say most of the factors that go into ESOP, like you can control. But it's instilling that mindset. It's not top down, but it's got to start and end at the top. They have to walk the walk.
Yeah.
They can't just say ESOP. They have to talk about employee ownership culture. They have to talk about why it's important. And also be able to share stories that are authentic and also vulnerable, and like show like a level of care for the person like that you brought up as an example, right? The everyday person that, maybe to them it does feel like a job, just like a job, but like you can take pride in knowing that like you're being rewarded for it, and you can make a difference for someone else and their family in a really positive way.
Right.
That'll last generations. Like that, you don't have to be like this entrepreneur founder to like have a legacy story.
Right.
Your legacy story can be, at least for me, I look at it as like I can help 1,000 people out there retire well, and hopefully have something to leave behind for their kids.
Yeah.
Some of our ESOP retirees, when they're, I'd say like the majority of like the retirees right now are still like the boomers, and some of them retire and the first thing they do is go buy that brand new truck. And I see the farm kid from the 1960s who couldn't afford a truck light up inside them and say, I can get the truck I always dreamed of now. It's like, that's just maybe not the way I would spend my retirement money right away. I don't know how all the taxes work and stuff. I'd probably want to talk to a financial planner. We always tell people to do that. Yep. Like we can't force them to do, it's their money. That's the thing. But like, just to see that joy of like, I never thought I'd be able to do this when I got old. It's like, that's damn cool.
Right. Is it working your entire life and then something happening right after you retire, or not even being able to retire, is such a sad song and dance that happens way too often, in my opinion. I've seen it with people that have retired here at OK Tire within the time I've been here, family members that I've had, just people that I know. Something happens, right? And financially, they're screwed. So just that level of secured confidence is a powerful part of the ESOP that I enjoy. And when people ask me, why do you like ESOP or what is it? That's what I focus on, is just the confidence that it gives me, in knowing that like I'm going to be taken care of when I get older. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to put in my dues. I'm going to help build the share price. And that's, I would say, the moment that it came for me, not as cool as your moment. I'm pretty jealous, going to be honest. But I used to work for an ESOP before I came to OK Tire. And I ended up leaving there, and it was a year afterwards, I think. I ended up getting that letter in the mail that says, do you want to roll it over or do you want to cash it out? Well, like an idiot, I cashed it out, right? I thought, whatever, this isn't real anyways. And I ended up getting a check in the mail that was about a paycheck at the time. And I just thought, I was only there for 4 years. I wasn't even fully vested. And this is real money.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, those taxes and penalties were also very real.
Yep. Felt that.
Felt that one hard. But I was like, okay, this is a real thing. I didn't do anything for that money other than continue to go to work where I had. And that was kind of my moment. And then knowing that OK Tire was one, and we had a couple of good years of increases, and seeing how we're growing, and the opportunity that I've had within OK Tire, the opportunity I've seen other people have within the company. Because I would, quick side note, sorry, I do this quite a bit.
That's the point, right?
I would say that there is a difference with, like privately owned companies and employee owned companies with the opportunity for employees.
Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely say that. I would say that employee owned companies work harder to get employees from in-house leveled up if that's what they want, or to give them more opportunity. Not even leveling up. They want to level sideways. If they want to try something different, if they want to move, right? Like I've seen us let employees borrow box trucks so that they can move towns and they can still work through us, right? Like, but I don't really see a lot of that in privately owned. Would you agree or disagree?
I agree. It's a little bit more transactional, and it takes a really special company to, and like I say this with like mad respect for a ton of like privately owned companies or like family owned companies that have built their family's legacy and like treated their employees really well.
Yeah.
It's still challenging because you don't feel, you're not part of the reward system, even if there is like a very generous bonus program, right?
Yeah.
You're not literally getting the profits from owning shares of the company. You're getting shares because you have a really, really great boss, a really great owner at the company who's giving their a bit of their treasure and sharing a little bit of their treasure. And I think that's really commendable. The ESOP ensures that everyone can see and feel that.
Yeah.
As early as they can, as early as possible, or that's feasible financially for the company,
right,
depending on where they're at in their employee ownership journey.